Hermann Hertzberger is tonight being presented with one of architecture's most prestigious prizes, which is our Royal Gold Medal. And the medal has been awarded since 1848 and is one of 25 Royal Prize medals, and it's in the gift of Her Majesty. But it is the only one given to members of a professional body, so we are deeply honoured. It is presented to a person or a group of people whose influence on architecture has been truly international. I'm now going to ask Neil McLaughlin, who nominated the recipient, to read the formal citation on behalf of the Honours Committee. Please come to the stage, Neil McLaughlin. Thank you.
For the architect Hermann Hertzberger, the structure of a building is not an end in itself. It is literally the framework for the life that goes on inside it, a life that is determined by its users. This goes for a school, a home, or an office. All building types he has transformed in a 50-year career in architecture. Hermann Hertzberger was one of the leaders in the movement away from functionalism in the mid-20th century. Influenced by anthropology, linguistics, and structural rationalism, he sought to identify an underlying order in a building's construction that is not related purely to its function. He saw this as analogous to the deep structures in language explored by Claude Lévi-Strauss. Just as language is brought to life in speech, so the fundamental tectonic order in buildings is given social meaning by the way in which they are inhabited. Because for Hertzberger, inhabitation is the key. Structurally, Hertzberger's buildings are characterized by a clear articulation of the supporting lattice. This creates a series of cellular zones within which minor elements like sills, benches, and thresholds are used to prompt human occupation. His first completed building was an industrial laundry in Amsterdam. This he perched on top of an early 20th century building, marking the start of a lifelong concern with extending the life of building by others and his own. For example, the Vredenburg Music Centre in Utrecht, which is currently being rebuilt from the outside in. That said, his primary concern is not for a building's form, but its structure and its inner world and workings. Every Hertzberger project contains a strong idea, and his principles are best illustrated by the many schools that he and his studio have built in the last 50 years. The stairs and corridors of the Apollo schools in Amsterdam and the Montessori school in Delft are essential to the life that fills the building. To see and be seen are the first steps towards a more satisfactory and fulfilling existence. His early masterpiece is an exemplary workplace known as Centraal Beheer, offices for an insurance company in Apeldoorn. He makes a small workers' town based on a three-dimensional grid. It's influenced by Wright's Larkin building and perhaps by the Japanese metabolists. And it's put together and inhabited like a complex tapestry. In the Ministry of Social Affairs and Employment in The Hague, the use of standardized elements is clear both in plan and in elevation. Another trope of late modernism, the oversailing, all-embracing roof, was developed in the Chassé Theatre in Breda. Throughout his architecture, Hertzberger employs a grammar of elements that enables people to define their own place within the structure. For him, all buildings should adapt themselves to different needs. This is well expressed in his housing work. In his early experimental skeleton houses in Delft, the indefinite plan allows the purpose of each space to be designated by the occupants, while the section allows for diagonal views. The Lima residential housing project in Berlin extends the principle of flexibility to mass housing, with the buildings arranged around a sun-filled courtyard and communal staircases forming vertical streets. In the Faculty of Science for the University of Utrecht, he translates the cuboid circulation and breakout platforms separated by light wells, known from the central Beheer, into a more fluid architectural arrangement. What Hertzberger wants is an architecture that can be interpreted and used by the inhabitants in many ways. He is an advocate of an open society in which encounters are not planned, but occur in a spontaneous, natural manner. For him, architecture is not only a social activity, but should also stimulate the user into finding his or her place in society. Hertzberger borrows the word polyvalent from chemistry to propose that buildings are open to multiple modes of inhabitation over time. This was a powerful challenge to modernism's linking of form to use. Although he never accepted that flexibility was intrinsic to functionalism, he did resist the idea that building form was in itself significant. This was not only a powerful criticism of early modernist assumptions, it also set contemporary architecture a stern challenge. Medalist Peter Cook wrote in 1967, "Architecture is a social art. The value of a building must lie chiefly in its ability to create an environment out of human situations. The architect can set himself the limit of the existing pattern, but most good architects would not be content with this." Hertzberger has never been content with conventional thinking. In last night's lecture, he argued that architects should be specialists in the daily life of people. This is done not by asking people what they want, but by undertaking a rational appraisal of what they are. He is a dispassionate observer. When I sat beside him this evening with this group sitting around a grand occasion, around the round tables, he reminded me of Van Gogh's potato eaters and wondered what the right size for a table of this kind should be. So congratulations to this year's gold medalist, Hermann Hertzberger.
I would now like to invite Hermann Hertzberger to the stage where I can formally hand you your medal. Hermann?
Yes, and then you get one of these telephone calls, somebody telling you got the gold medal. I thought at first another competition or another nomination, a lot of work to do to get something, to get a piece of gold, but no, there was a very friendly voice. I mean, I can hear from the voice whether somebody is friendly or not, but it was a very friendly voice telling me, you got this gold medal. I couldn't believe it because, I mean, no sexy architecture, just rainy architecture. So how can you get a gold medal for rainy architecture? But, oh yes, you got the gold medal, but you have to keep it secret. So I had the gold medal, but I couldn't tell anybody. It's not so funny. But anyway, I'm very, very happy with it. And there's only one problem. That is that it is very dangerous for me to wear gold, because I have a daughter who's picking gold all the time, because she wants to make it into jewelry. So I have to. So I hope it's not really gold, because otherwise it will. And there is another thing, which is that I would like to take pieces of this model, if possible, because I want to share it with the people from our office, Please rise up, you as a team. They are here. And most not all of them are working for 45 years in my office, but there's one who is 40, and the others are working, well, most of them more than 20 years. And that's, if there's a secret, that's the secret, I think. That we are working together and that we are going to be accustomed to each other in that time. And I must say I was a little bit scared for all this. But I realize now that there are just more friends around. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. I want to officially adopt Herman as my Dutch uncle. And Joanna as my Dutch aunt. One of the customs that we have is we always ask the gold medalist would they give us one of their paintings or sketches or whatever it might be. And I'm delighted that Herman is going to donate one of his wonderful drawings to the RIBA, which will go into the RIBA collection. But before it goes into the collection at the Victoria and Albert Museum, it's going to hang on my wall upstairs for a couple of years. So thank you very much, and let's have a little look at it. There is a display in Gallery 1 which has got some of the past 5 gold medalists, so please do have a quick look in there. So once again, I want to say thank you to all of you. Congratulations to all of our medalists. You're most welcome to join our RIBA family. And you're helping us to spread the message that great architecture around the world really matters. And finally, to my new uncle, to Herman Hertzberger.